Hello, welcome to Lil's Vintage World, welcome to Tudortember. In this video I'm going to give you 10 facts about Edward VI, Edward Tudor. These are going to be facts about his life, so almost like a little biography of random facts about him, and it's going to be more on him rather than the people that surround him. So here we go. 1. Edward was born at Hampton Court Palace on the 12th of October 1537, and he was the son of Henry VIII and Jane Seymour. 2. Although Edward is often portrayed in TV, film and other media outlets as this kind of sickly boy king, actually he wasn't that at all, really. In his childhood, his younger childhood, I should say, he actually had really good health. He was a really sturdy, healthy young child. 3. His governess was Lady Bryan, who also cared for his older sisters, Mary, and was governess to Elizabeth too. 4. At the age of 6, under his father's orders, Edward had his apartments remodelled, and they were to be a mini-me version of his father's apartments, including really expensive but amazing wall tapestries. 5. Edward's education, as you can probably guess, was rather impressive. It was a traditional country pursuits like horse riding and fencing, along with educational things like languages. Religion, of course, played a massive part of his education, and Edward grew really close to Thomas Cranmer. And although it didn't matter that much when he was younger, having Thomas Cranmer as a friend really helped Edward when he became king later on, to help push Edward's own views of religious policies through. 6. Edward became king at the mere age of 9. Edward had turned 9 in the October and became king in the following January of 1547, after the death of his father, Henry VIII. 7. In 1549, the first Book of Common Prayer was published. 3 years later, the second edition was then published. This was then used as a framework for the churches of England of how religious matter should be taking place, but at the same time was also banning particular Catholic practices such as the use of rosaries. 8. On becoming king, Edward kept a diary or a journal, whatever you like to call it, as king. And this is really interesting because this gives us an insight not only to practically what was happening day by day and what was happening at the time as, you know, a good primary resource that we can trust, but it also gives us an insight into Edward's own emotions and personality. And let me tell you, he comes off quite cold, callous and stubborn. Essentially a mini-me of his father. 9. For the entirety of Edward's reign, he remained a minor. I mean, he became king at the age of 9, he died when he was 15. And so instead of him ruling alone, as most rulers do, he was not of an age to, so he had councillors that were governing and ruling the country on his behalf, with him, as he was getting older and older, having more of an input, more of a say, and pushing his own policies and ideas forward. But this created havoc. It created this absolute power play, and by the end of Edward's reign, the council, the governance was just a complete mess. It was just a fight for power. Who had the power? Who didn't have the power? Who had the power to take someone else's life? And turned out his uncles had power and both of them lost it. And what could Edward do? 10. In April of 1552, Edward contracted measles. He recovered, but then, as all illnesses, you then become weaker, more susceptible to catching other things, and Edward became ill again with an illness that we think is most likely TB, tuberculosis, and Edward died at the age of 15 on the 6th of July 1553. As Edward was dying, he spoke these words. I have them written down because I don't have them memorised. O Lord God, save thy chosen people of England. O my Lord God, defend this realm from papistry and maintain thy true religion. Those words gives us such a true insight into Edward. As he was dying, what he was thinking about was trying to defend what he saw himself as the true religion, the Protestant religion, Church of England. And I think that's a lot for a 15-year-old, and very sad that he died, but I think it provides a really interesting insight into Edward's mind. So there we have it. Those are 10 facts that hopefully you find interesting about Edward's life. It weren't meant to be random facts, they were meant to be literally about his life, almost like a biography. So hopefully you have enjoyed this. Let me know in the comment section if you did, and I shall see you soon for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.